We say we're one in Jesus, but we still fight amongst Christians. But MBN, it's our mission to spread love and show you vision. And we cancel out division, and we hope that you listen, cause Mamlaka Buckus Network brings you love and joy and love and joy. We cancel out the noise, and we giving you a voice, gives you love and joy and love.
Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. This is your host for today, Ambassador Victoria Suba. I bring you greetings here from a local studio here in Spain. Welcome. Buenas tardes. Today we have a recurring guest. She was with us last time, and she's none other than Miss Aida Cirino Lee. How are you today, Miss Aida? Beautiful Queen Aida, how are you today?
I'm doing great. Honor again to be here and be able to impact the people of God with their health.
Excellent. Excellent, very good news. Okay, for those of you who don't know who Miss Aida Cirino Lee is, I can tell you that she is a holistic health practitioner and an integrative nutritional coach that has been working in the health industry for more than 25 plus years as a registered MA and lab technician in oncology, internal medicine, and urgent care. She coaches her clients, and as a result of her coaching, her clients get the skills and the power to control, prevent, and even reverse chronic diseases. They also can break bondages to medication and the side effects. Welcome once again, Miss Aida. Welcome.
Welcome. Thank you so much for having me here today. I can't wait to talk to you and let you know how to become that CEO of your health and take control of it so that way you can pursue your purpose. You know, whatever God have intended for your life to do, you need to be healthy and strong so God can use you. So that's the main purpose of this teaching today.
Okay, so we're going to pick up from last time. And last time, Ms. Aida Cirino Lee came to testify about how her life has been the last year, 2020, when she contracted COVID-19. And not only that, but her husband's health deteriorated and he had to be taken into hospital and everything that came out of it. So after she shared that with us, she also shared with us some tips as to how we can get back our health. But she told us that she wanted to come back to tell us a little bit more. And today is that day. So just sit down, get pen and paper, and listen to what Miss Aida has got to say today. Now, let us begin with asking her, how are we going to be doing what you said in great detail? The floor is yours.
Yes. I want to tell you a little bit how I came to this conclusion of you becoming the CEO of your health. I have to do that for myself first. How do I become the CEO of my health? Why? Because all my life I had a lot of health issues. Since I was a baby, I was a preemie baby, and I have, my legs were curved. I have a murmur in my heart. I suffer from asthma, eczema. I had stomach issues. I mean, I had a whole bunch of issues that through the years, they clear up, but my blood pressure never clear up. So I became a young adult, and then, when you're a young adult, you're not taking care of your health like you're supposed to because you think you're invincible when you're young,
Yes,
so I wasn't taking care of myself like I supposed to. And when I was in my 30s, I suffered a major stroke.
Yes, you mentioned.
I paralyzed all my left side. Okay, I have to learn how to walk. I have to learn everything. And let me tell you, it was a miracle of God that I was healed because they told me I probably would not regain my function, and I regained everything. So it was just God, for the glory of God, that I recovered everything. But, after that, I'll keep going to the doctor, and it was one pill after one pill after one pill, one hospitalization after one hospitalization, nothing getting better. Every single time I went to the doctor, I get a different pill. And then my body, this is what happened with my body. They give me a pill. It will lower my blood pressure for a while. Then my body will get used to the medications, get resistant. The medication don't work anymore. I start getting palpitation. I start getting migraines and headache, and I get hospitalized again. I used to get hospitalized at least 2 to 3 times a year. It was so bad that my family and my coworkers used to say, "Here goes Aida to another retreat." That's how many times I was going to the hospital. Not only that, because of all the medication, I got into a point where I was taking 9 medications, but some of them were 1 and 2, 1 times a day, 2 times a day, 3 times a day. So I was taking a total of 19 pills a day. So imagine that. 19 pills a day.
My
I
goodness.
gained so much weight. I was 293 pounds. That's the biggest I was, 293 pounds. No energy whatsoever. I have no idea how I work in the clinic drawing blood and doing the things that I had to do because I was so tired all the time. I feel like I needed. Have you ever seen those Tom and Jerry cartoons when they put the toothpick in their eyes to keep their eyes open?
Yes,
That's
yes,
how I
yes.
felt. And then because of that, because I pushed myself to be awake when my body wanted to be asleep because of the medication, then at night I couldn't sleep. What that's done,
Yeah.
it was a circle because then it would keep my blood pressure high because of it, and I was not getting better. It got into a point where my kids are 15 years apart. Okay, so my daughter was giving birth, and my granddaughter was, being born, and the doctor told my daughter that because she was not dilatating completely, to walk back and forth and take a squat every single time she got a contraction. So one of those times when she got a contraction, I fell in the floor because I was trying to do it with her. I was 293, but I fell in the floor. They took my daughter and they left me in the floor. That was such an embarrassing moment for me. That was at that moment that I said, I have to change.
Oh,
Something
dear
have to
God.
change. I cannot continue like this because I want to live long enough to, be able to enjoy my granddaughter. My son at the time was only 7, energetic, bouncing off the walls. I want to be able to be with him as well. So I had to make a decision. And my decision was because medication is not working, it's just being a band-aid to my condition. I need to take control of my health. I need to be that CEO of my health. So I decided to start doing research. I researched, Ayurveda, nutrition, functional medicine. Okay. And then I decided to apply some of the things, implement some of those things into my life and go back to school. And when I went back to school, I became a holistic health practitioner and an
Mhm.
integrative nutrition coach. So I created a formula, in order to help people become that CEO of the health. Now, when we're talking about becoming the CEO of the health, I want you to think as your body, as your company. We all want to be CEO. What is a CEO? A person that runs the company, know how every department works. Okay, it gives the employee everything the employee need in order to be productive. So
Yeah.
imagine that you're the owner of this company. Okay, so me Victoria, you are Victoria's Inc. I am Arias Inc. This is my company. So my cells are my employees. My organs are the machinery and equipment that you need to work. Your
All right.
systems are the departments, and your nutrition and lifestyle is your human resources. Now, as a CEO, after I tell you and explain you this, can you tell me if you are a good CEO? Are you giving yourselves the nutrition and the tools and everything that they need in order for them to work in the highest healing potential, to work the way God intended for them to work?
I think so, but you tell me, am I doing right? Am I doing wrong? That's what you're here for, to let us know, to enlighten us, to educate us. So please go ahead.
So when I did that question to myself, I find out I was not being a good CEO. So I had to do certain changes. So people always ask me, so how do you go by the changes? Okay, so when you go to the word CEO, if you look at the letter C, the first thing that you need to do is make the choice. You need to make the choice that you're going to take care of yourself. Once you make that choice, then you create an environment for that to happen. Then you go to the letter E, then you need to get educated. That's where you come into places like this to get educated. Because in order for you to take care of your health, you need to know how your body works, what is your health history, what is that your body needs, what is your main health concern. So you learn, you get all the information that you need to in order for you to create that healthy habit and that healthy lifestyle. And then with the letter O, that means that you're going to get organized. Now you made the decision, you know what you need to do. So you need organized. Now you remove what it need to be removed, incorporate what it need to be incorporated, and go by your life, taking care of your health and becoming that CEO. So when I did that, I started my career as a health ministry at the church. I was doing a health ministry at a church where I did, classes for the women ministry, for the youth ministry. I did health fairs in different churches. And at that time, the ministry was called Bethesda Health Ministry. That's what it
Okay.
was called. When
Yes.
I went to incorporate it, when I went to organize all my papers and get it all incorporated, there were so many things named Bethesda in the state of Florida. So I have to change, I had to change the name. So I went back to the board and I said, God, okay, I need a new name. So I need to ask God for. So God gave me RX for everlasting health. RX means prescription for, and then everlasting health. Every letter in the word everlasting health is the protocol that is going to help you become the CEO of your health. It's a parameter or a pillar that you need to become that CEO that you want to be. Not only that, that God gave me this word. You know that everlasting is in the verse John 3:16. Not only that, when you look at the word everlasting, the first three letters Eve, which is woman. When you go to letter number 7, it's spirituality. Number 7 is the number of God, it's spirituality. And then when you go to letter 10, that is the end of nutrition. If you go to the Bible to Daniel 10, nutrition was the one that won the war that he had waiting for the results.
Correct.
That God had for him. So do you know that was a God-given formula? Okay, because God told me, listen, Aida, health is not just about nutrition and exercise. When you talk about anybody about health, they think it's all about nutrition and exercise. But everything that happens in your mind, body, and spirit is all connected. Like the Holy Spirit, the Father, and the Son are all connected. We are all connected. So whatever happened in your mind will manifest in your spirit and in your body. Whatever happened in your body will manifest in your mind and in your spirit. Whatever happened in your spirit will manifest in your mind and in your body. So we need to connect all of this. There's a lot of other things that are connected. The root cause of disease, one of the root causes of disease is stress.
Yes.
And stress is manifested in many activities that we have to do in our daily life. That's why he created the everlasting formula, because it's very complete. So I'm going to tell you which each letter represent real quick, and then we go to each one, and I give you some tips on each area. Okay?
Okay, that would be lovely.
Yeah, the first letter is E of exercise. The second letter is V of vision. The third letter is E of environment.
Yes, please go ahead. Yes, sorry, I missed you. We had a kind of like the internet froze there a little bit. So I stopped with empowerment. So the next letter is R.
R is for rest.
Yes.
L is for love and relationships.
Correct.
A is for attitude.
Yeah.
S is for spirituality.
Yeah.
T for time management.
Yeah.
I for income.
Yes.
N for nutrition.
Correct.
G for goals.
Wow, powerful. Let me repeat that. Wow. E, everlasting. E for exercise, vision, empowerment, rest.
No empowerment, environment.
Environment. Sorry, I got that one wrong. Environment. It's a good thing that I repeated it. You see, otherwise I would have been giving wrong information. Excellent. So let me recap. Exercise, vision, environment, rest, love and relationships, attitude, spirituality, time management, income, nutrition, and goals. Is that correct?
That is correct. So let me tell you a little bit how everything plays in when it comes to your own health, okay, and to get into optimal health and become that CEO of your health. The first thing that you need to do is exercise. You know that exercise is essential for our health. We need to keep moving. Whatever you don't move, it putrefy. If you put water in a container and don't move it, it putrefy. Okay. So you need to keep your body moving so your muscles will get stronger, your bones get stronger, your circulatory system be able to circulate properly, your cardiovascular system. We also have another system called the lymphatic system that is parallel to our circulatory that take all the garbage out. And that one doesn't have the valves that the circulatory system have. So you moving is what's going to get all the garbage out. So you need to make sure that you do exercise for your body. And not only for your body, but you need to also do exercise for your brain. The brain is the organ in the body that uses more oxygen. So that's why exercise is also great for your brain. And not only doing physical exercise for the brain, you also want to do like things like Sudoku, learning something new, learning a new language, reading the Word of God. Those are things that will stimulate the cells of the brain and give the exercise to the cells of the brain. So that's an essential thing that you need to do. Now, for people that doesn't like to do any exercise, the basic exercise that you can do is walking, people. Walking. And what is required for you to walk 10,000 steps every single day. Everybody said, well, how am I going to do 10,000 steps every single day? Honey, you take your phone and you get one of those apps that are the pedometer. Or you can buy a pedometer. Here in the United States, you go to Walmart, you can get one for $3 that you put it in your waist. But you put it in your phone, and from the moment your feet touch the floor in the morning, you start counting those 10 steps. So how do you make it? Like, let's say you have to go to the supermarket. Don't park close to the door, park, far away so you can make the steps. If you work in the office and you need to talk to your coworker, don't use the intercom. Stand up and walk to their office to tell them what you need to do. Every hour on the hour, if you are sitting down, make sure that you walk, because sitting down is as bad as smoking. If you sit down all day, it's as bad as smoking for your body. So you want to continually be moving. And you make sure that you do the 10,000 steps by the end of the day. What I do usually is I come home and let's say it's 8 o'clock at night and I haven't done my 10,000. Let's say I still have 3 more thousands to do. You see me walking all over the house. Until I make the 10,000 steps. Or I am a Latina, so I will put a merengue and I start dancing until I make my 10,000. So that way I know I have that. And then, of course, if you want to build muscles and have lean muscle and flexibility, then you want to go to the gym or do some type of a workout. That's an extra. But at least do your minimum 10,000 steps. That's for exercise. The next word is vision. Vision is so necessary. And I'm not talking about vision of eyesight. I'm talking about having a why. Okay, people that doesn't have a vision abuse themselves, abuse their body. You go through life without any boundaries. Okay, going through, it's like not putting the address in the GPS and just driving with no direction whatsoever, doing things that will hinder your life, hinder your relationship, hinder your health and every area. Why? Because you don't have a why. We need to have a why, a decision, a reason why. Where are you going in your life? It is essential. And you know that God make us with a purpose. There's a reason why you're here. God doesn't make things just to be, not for you to look pretty and sitting there. No, he have something. He have a purpose. You are a solution to somebody's problem. You need to figure that out. Okay?
Correct. I agree with that 100%. Yes.
The next letter is the E for environment. The environment is very important because the environment is everything that is around you outside, but we're going to be talking about the environment inside your body as well. But outside means that you need to have an environment that is organized, okay, clean and organized. It's very important because I don't know about you, but when things are disorganized, you don't know where to start. And it makes you stressful and anxious.
Yes, and not only that, but we serve a God of order. God is not the author of confusion. He's a God of order.
Exactly. And then not only that, clean, because you don't want extra bacteria, viruses, and things like that to come into your body. Now, the other thing that you have to do is also lower your toxic load. Now, there's a lot of toxins in everything that we put in our skincare, in our cosmetics, in our hair products. The things that you put in your house to smell, the Febreze and the Glades and the candles that you put into your house, all your cleaning products that you use to clean the house, all those things have tons of toxins. Now, everything that you put in your skin will be absorbed by the body within 26 seconds, and 60% of that will go into your blood, creating more free radicals, creating more oxidation. People, do you know that we oxidize the same way that metal oxidizes outside? Our cells are oxidizing inside of us all the time. When you get older, and especially the light-skinned people notice more than the dark-skinned people. But when they get a little brown spot when they're in the 60s,
and the freckles,
those are cells that are oxidized. Yeah. We're oxidized. So we want to avoid those things by lowering your toxin load. Now, you cannot control absolutely everything when you go out there, but you can control what you put in your house. If you like the house to smell good, use essential oils in a diffuser. All candles are made natural with essential oils instead of perfume. Everything that you put in your body or in your house that said the word fragrance in the ingredient list, that means that the government giving permission to put whatever kind of chemical they want, and you have no idea. Since I don't know what they have, I don't want it. Okay, because I don't want to. So you want to control that. You want to make sure that you load that toxic load. Now, when it comes to the inside of your body, it's the same thing. You want to give your cells the environment for them to grow and to be productive and heal themselves. They did a study called epigenetics. When they did epigenetics, that means that they did the map of all our genes, okay? And they figured out that we can turn on and off our genes depending on the environment that we give to the genes. Okay, so that means, what that means? That because your mama had diabetes, and your great-grandma had diabetes, and your grandma had diabetes, and your aunt had diabetes, that doesn't mean that you have to have diabetes. That means that you are predisposed to diabetes. You have everything that you need to have diabetes, But if you give that cells the environment that they need, because now you know your history, so you know what to prevent, and you give the environment inside by giving the food that doesn't have the toxin, by lowering your sugar intake and whatever else it goes with the sugar, then you can prevent getting that disease. So people, we have more control than you think of our health outcomes.
Of
Okay, so
course.
that has to do with environment. Then the fourth letter is rest.
I love this
Rest,
one.
yes, rest is essential. We need to rest. Every single day we need to sleep our 8 hours. Why do we need to sleep our 8 hours? Because during our sleep is where a lot of the metabolic processes and pathways are happening in our cells, even detoxing and even fat burning and weight loss happen when you're sleeping. So you need to make sure that you sleep your 8 hours, that you get that REM sleep. The best hours to sleep is between 10 at night and 6 in the morning. You want to make sure that you get your 8 hours of sleep. Now, there's people out there that have issues to sleeping. What I suggest, this is my tip for you to create an environment so that you can go to sleep better, is that at least an hour before the time that you decide you want to go to bed, turn off all technology, all TV, all, no phones, nothing, everything
Yes.
off,
Yes.
completely off. Once you do that, they have everything off. If you need some help with something to sleep, take some melatonin. Okay, prepare some tea, either chamomile tea, ashwagandha tea, or valerian tea, because those are adaptogen and relaxant teas. You put your pot your cup next to your bed. Go and take a hot shower with Epsom salt, because the Epsom salt is going to relax the magnesium in the Epsom salt, going to help relax your muscles. And then you go from there straight to your bed. You have your tea and your journal. You do your prayer and you do your grateful journal. I always do the grateful journals at night to say 3 things that I was grateful for that happened that day. I write it down, and I'm a person that I have a lot of things going in my mind. Okay, so I feel like I had to dump my brain in something. So I put all my ideas and all that stuff right there. I do my prayers, I sip my tea, and then I have my diffuser with some lavender to create that atmosphere in the room. And then I lay down and I'm able to read, to sleep. Sometimes I put a meditation tape, the one that have all the healing scriptures of the Bible. So I'm listening to the healing scriptures of the Bible while I'm falling asleep. So that's another thing, and that will help you create that environment. Now, when we talk to rest, we're not only talking about sleeping, but you need to have a time off every week. You need to have a day off every week. Even God created God that is all potent, that He doesn't need a rest because He doesn't sleep. Okay, that He have all the energy in the world. He still rested one day after He created everything. That means that we need to rest that one day. We need to disconnect and rest that one day. Okay, and then even every year we need to have a vacation. Why? You need to disconnect for the routine so you can come back with a different perspective, so you can learn something new, so you can plug. So that is also necessary to create that environment of optimal health. So that goes with rest. The next letter is L of love and relationship. Now, there's nothing more stressful than people. Okay? I don't know about you, but there's nothing more stressful than people. So knowing how to nurture our relationships, knowing how to communicate, especially with your spouse and your children's or your parents, is very important. Learning, how you get that communication going with your family. The first thing is listening. What do you think that the Lord make us with 2 ears and one mouth so we can listen twice and speak once? Listen to what people are telling you. Listen to what your parents are telling you. Listen to what your children are telling you or your spouse is trying to tell you. And then reiterate what they're saying to you back. So you make sure that you understand it the way they want you to understand it. Sometimes our bias and our history or the way that they treated us before or anything like that might not understand what they're saying the way that they want you to understand.
Yeah.
So it's very important for you to repeat yourself. It's important for you to treat people the way that you want to be treated. That's one of the commandments of God. God said 2 commandments. Love God above all, treat people the way you want to be treated. Okay, so you want to treat people the way that you want to be treated. So that's very important. The another thing that you need to do with relationships is that you need to understand how to choose your inner circle and how to identify toxic relationship. The inner circles are people that you are willing to tell you your story, that are going to be there forever with you. The toxic person are the person that is doing what you tell them not to do and they continue to do it anyways, even despite that you tell them not to do that anymore. Or if they're hurting you physically, mentally, psychological, financially, sexually, those people need to get out of your life. And you need to also learn how to let go, because people come into your life for seasons. Okay, people are like a tree, like a tree, a tree. There's people that are like roots, there are people like branches, and there are people that are like leaves. The people that are like leaves, they come into your life for a period of time. You learn something from them, they learn something from you whatever, and something misunderstanding, something very dumb happen, and they fall off. Then you have people like branches. Those people are longer. You have projects with those people. Or maybe those are people that you go to church with, for example, things like that. Then they either move to another place and you lose connection, or something happen, or maybe you are going through a tribulation in your life and they cannot deal with it, and that break, and those break. But then you have people that are like the roots. Those are the people that are there for you no matter what. They can be in another state. You have not talked to them in 2 months and you pick up the phone, it's like nothing happened, no time happened. They're there when you're sad to push you, but they're there also to celebrate with you when you are in good things. And they also love the same things that you love. It's going to make you stronger in the kingdom of God. And they're pursuing the same things that you're pursuing in the same level of growth. So those are the people that you want to cultivate. When you do that kind of things, then you are going to be healthier when it comes to relationship. You're going to avoid that stress, because especially when it comes to the marriage and the children, it is important for you to get to know them better. Another thing that you can do to get to know them better is do assessments, like personality assessments, so you can understand your children better, your spouse better, or the love assessment. Imagine you thinking your husband is not loving you or your wife is not loving you because they're loving you the way they love. They're not loving you the way that you like to be loved, because you need to go deeper in those areas. And that's going to help you and save you a lot of stress. That's going to save you a lot of headaches. That is going to save you from having high blood pressure or your sugar going up, or suffer anxiety or depression.
Correct. Okay? Correct.
Then the next letter is the A for attitude. Having a positive attitude. That means seeing the glass half full instead of half empty. They said that it's scientifically proven that when you have a negative attitude, you suppress your immune system.
Yes, you do. Yes,
so
you do.
When you suppress your immune system, that means that you are prone to any infection, to any cold, to the COVID, to any disease out there, because your immune system is not working properly because of your attitude. Now, there's people out there, not all of us are born perky, and positive, and there's some people that are pessimists. That's their nature, okay? But you can change that. And there's some exercise that I want to give you tips on. One thing that you can do in order to change the perspective of life and your outlook in life is practicing gratefulness. Practicing gratefulness is the best thing, because you cannot be sad and grateful at the same time. Okay, so when you practice gratefulness, how you do that? Well, every day in the morning when you're doing your journal, you're doing the devotional, your word and everything, you write 3 things that you're grateful for, and you write it down. Then at the end of the day, you're going to write 3 things that happened that day that you're grateful for. Why that happened that day? It doesn't matter that the day was a horrible day. Your husband screamed at you, your boss screamed at you, your kid got suspended for school, your food got burned, you fell in the street. Doesn't matter what happened that day. Doesn't matter. But you can still find at the end of the day 3 things that are good that happened that day. That's going to help you change the perspective of life. Mm-hmm. And it's going to help you start the next day in a clean slate and in a positive attitude. So that's why that is practice. Another thing that you can do also, when you express gratefulness for somebody that did something really nice to you, but you go the extra mile to show gratefulness to that person, they say that hype from that gratefulness hype can last you up to 3 months.
Wow. I didn't know that.
Yes.
I always learn something new. I didn't know that.
So do something big, like something big for that one person that did something big for you. That's another way that you can boost your attitude. Let me tell you something. I have 2 ladies, okay, in my oncology clinic that I was working, that both have breast cancer. The same prognosis, same diagnosis. One was in the late 40s, the other one's in the late 50s. Okay, I mean early 40s, and the other one's in the late 50s. The one in the late 40s was a healthy, she didn't have any other comorbidity. She didn't suffer of diabetes or anything else. The other lady, the 50s, she was overweight. She had diabetes, COPD, and high blood pressure, plus the cancer. Now, but this lady, the 50-something lady, she had Christ. She was always happy. She would come to the clinic to get her chemo. Her makeup was on point. She got all different kind of bandanas, very pretty. She was always sharing love with everybody, happiness. No matter how much pain she could be, she was always happy at this position of I don't know. She would glow. She would glow. Now, the other lady, in the other hand, she was mad with the world. She will ask if one of the nurses for something. Let's say she wanted some orange juice. She will ask me, "Oh, Aida, bring me some orange juice right now. You better go quickly. You never know when I'm gonna drop." That's how she would tell me. You never know when I'm gonna drop dead. Listen, that lady dropped dead. I'm sorry because that's the way she said it. So she prophesied on her whole life. Within a year and a half.
Oh,
My other lady, she lasted 10 years.
wow. It goes to show, eh? It goes to show.
That's a different attitude can do in your life. So that's very important for you to cultivate a positive attitude. Then the next letter is spirituality, which means God. We can do absolutely nothing without God. He's our source. He's our father. Okay. He's our healer. We can do absolutely anything without him. He also identified who we are and give us the position of who we are, because he gives us that we know where we came from. When you know where you came from, then that you have to deal a lot with your self-esteem. It will help you have a strong self-esteem and confidence in yourself. I know I'm a child of a king. That means I'm a princess. Nobody's going to come to treat the princess any way they want.
No, you're a queen. Let me correct you. You are a queen. You are a queen.
They cannot come any way they want. No. And I know what I have inside of me, because that you know your creator and you're connected with your creator, then you know what you're capable of doing. And when you feel that you're not capable, you can go back to the source. Okay, because he said, ask and you should receive.
Yes.
And you can go back to the source. For the people that are listening here and doesn't have that faith connection like we do, pretend that you're going to Macy's to buy a dress. Macy's is a very expensive store here in the United States, okay?
Yes,
and then pretend that you're going to buy a dress at Walmart. Walmart is a very cheap store, okay? How are you going to treat that Macy's dress? You're going to treat that Macy's dress, you're probably going to put it in a bag. You're probably going to take it to the dry cleaners. You're going to put it in an area in the closet that doesn't touch anything. But the other dress, you're probably not going to take care of it. Okay? Because you don't want to know the value of that dress or anything like that, but you know the value. So we get our value from God. Okay? Another thing that have to do with God is faith. You need to have faith. Faith of the things that you're planning in your life. Faith in God that things are going to happen, and faith needs action. Okay, you cannot just sit there and wait for God to, a lot of people confuse that verse that said wait on the Lord. Wait on the Lord. They think that they're going to sit there and just wait and do absolutely nothing. No, wait means, like the waiter that go on serving and he's serving the food in the restaurant.
Waiting, yes.
Waiting what you're waiting, what you're waiting in God until the next direction that God is going to give you. So correct. That's another thing. And the third thing when it comes to spirituality is forgiveness. There's nothing more sickening in your body than unforgiveness. Do you know that it's been scientifically proven that unforgiveness mutate your cells to cancer cells?
Yes, I know very well. And this, I believe that this is a commonality with cancer patients. The root cause of it, I heard it and I've read in many journals, medical journals, that the root cause of many cancers are in unforgiveness, like you said. So yes, I'm very well aware of it.
And let me explain you how that happened, because everything that happened in your mind, everything that you're thinking, okay, everything that you're saying here, okay, is going to every cell in your body. You communicate it to the cells in your body. So when you are in forgiveness, you are on stress, you are mad, you have anger, all these negative emotions, and you're passing all those negative emotions to your cells, and the cells are creating more free radicals. Okay, that creating oxidation. That means that your cells are going to be oxidized. When those cells are oxidized, then they get converted, because our cells are multiplying, all the time. If the cells are already damaged and oxidized, and multiplying one oxidized cell to another oxidized cell to the other, they multiply abnormal.
Yeah.
And that's what is causing the cells, the cancer cells. Because let me tell you real quick, when it comes to the mind, you have the conscious. The conscious is the front, where you know that you're awake and you know who you are. Then you have the subconscious where it takes all your memories, everything that you put in your subconscious is there. Okay, and then you have your unconscious, that's where you hide things out. Okay, so what happened? That your emotions, it's like the spoon. Pretend that your subconscious is a bowl. And let's say that is a bowl of Lucky Charms cereal. You know that the Lucky Charms have the oats and you have the marshmallows. So the oats are all the bad things that happen in your life, and the marshmallows are all the good things. So when you're having an emotion, when you have a negative emotion because you haven't forgive somebody, and then you keep putting garbage into your brain because you're watching negative things in the TV, you're listening to negative things in the radio, you're listening to people that are negative in your mind, you're not reading the word of God or anything like that. That means that you're filling that bowl with negative stuff, that are more oats. So when you get emotional, what's going to happen is that spoon need to grab from that bowl, and if it's grab more of the negative things, that's how you react negatively to people. That's why you say the things that you said, and then sometimes you don't believe that you said that. Or somebody went into a fight and killed somebody and then wake up out of the strengths and say, I don't know how I killed somebody. It's because we feel our subconscious with so many negativity things. And when we are on forgiveness, we are constantly thinking, I was there. When my first husband, when I got divorced of my first husband, that he was abusive. Listen, when I was on forgiveness and I didn't have God, all I thought was, and probably that's the reason why I have the stroke and my blood pressure, is because all I thought is, how if I find it again in front of me, what am I going to tell him? How am I going to curse him out or whatever? Those are the negative things that I was thinking, creating anxiety and depression on myself. So we need to make sure that we forgive. When we forgive people, you're not saying that the people are not at fault. You're not saying that they don't have the responsibility of what they did wrong. You just stopping to renting a space of your brain to somebody. You are renting a space of your brain to somebody. And you know that when you have negativity, the Holy Spirit and the negative spirit cannot be together in the same body.
Yeah.
So that's what's going to happen. You need to forgive. And that's very essential when it comes to spirituality. So the next letter is T of time management. That's one thing, one source that God give us everybody the same. We all get 24 hours a day. How come some people do a lot with their 24 hours and some people doesn't do much with their 24 hours? It's because they don't know how to prioritize their time. I always tell everybody, okay, when you create in your calendar, there's 3 things that need to be there before you put anything else for work or projects or anything else. Those 3 things are your spirituality, what you do for your spirituality, which means going to church, reading your word, you in the devotional, okay, meditating on the word of God, praying. That have to be scheduled first in your calendar.
Yeah.
Then the second thing is your self-care. That means you're gonna include there your exercise, your nutrition, you know, what time you're gonna cook, and you're gonna prepare your food. All that needs to be in the calendar. And then the third thing is your relationships. You know, day night with the husband, one-on-one with your children, family day. When I'm gonna call my mom, when I'm gonna call my sister, my best friend. Those things. Why? Because if you are in good standing with God, you're gonna have the confidence to do whatever you need to do. If your health is good, you're going to have the focus and the energy and the vitality to do whatever else you need to do. And when your relationships are all doing good, you're going to have a peace of mind, meaning that the rest of your time, you're going to be able to be very productive doing the same thing that used to take you a lot of hours. Now you're in focus, now you're alert, now you're creative. You're going to be able to be more effective with less time. And then you will have enough time to do everything that you have to do.
Correct.
Losing your stress, losing your anxiety, losing all that stuff that make you depressed because you didn't accomplish the things that you set up for. Okay? Then you have income, money. People always tell me what money have to do with your health, but a lot, because everything that you consume, everything that you have to do for your health, you need to use money. Now, the key is not having love for money, because money is a resource that God gave us. So because you are a Christian or a citizen of God, we are a child of a king. A king is rich, you know, a king have everything. Why are we not allowed to have everything as well? What is it? For the use of the kingdom. You having it for the use of the kingdom, to be able to help others, to expand the kingdom of God, to get your purpose brought, to take care of yourself. Okay, so it's very important for you to know how to manage your money, no matter how little money you have or how much money you have. You need to know to make sure that you manage your money and that you don't have love for the money. That what that means is that if you get the money, you are able to let it go. In other words, if somebody in need and you have the money, you're able. You're not holding that money. You know. Oh, I cannot give because I won't be able to pay this bill or whatever. You know, you're able to help, because when you give, More is going to be given to you. Shake it, press down, running over. Okay? So that's very important in order, because another thing is that is very stressful if you have bill collectors calling you at home. Or when your child wants something and you have to say no. I know that we don't want to give our children everything all the time, but we don't want to say no all the time either. So
yeah, there needs to be a balance. There needs to be a balance, yes.
Mm-hmm. And then the next letter is nutrition. This is what we're going to go a little bit bigger. Nutrition. Nutrition is very important, because nutrition is what you give into your cells and to your body in order for you to be healthy. Okay, and for the body to function the way it needs to be functioned. So I'm gonna give you something very small. There's a saying in America that say eating no crap. Eating no crap. That means CRAP. So the first thing is C, no carbonated drinks. That means don't drinking any sodas. People, soda is a concoction of chemicals with tons and tons and tons of sugar. Neither the sugar or the concoction of chemicals are good for your body, nor is giving your body any nutritional value. What it's adding is toxins. Remember what we talked about environment before? It's adding toxins to the environment of your cells, plus adding too much sugar. Now, the next one is refined sugars, from the R, refined sugars. Okay? What are refined sugars? It's all the sugars that you find in all the grains, in all the baked goods and breads and candies. Those are refined sugars. Now, sugar is not bad for your body. Your body needs sugar in order to make energy. Your body, your cells, use sugar to make ATP. That's the type of energy that the body uses, ATP. But what happened is that we are consuming too much sugar. And even the people that think that they having a conservative amount of sugar don't understand that they eating a lot of sugar. Why? Because our food industry add up sugars into the foods. This is what happened. In the 1970s, they believed that fat was bad for our body. So they took away the fat out of the food and they had to add up something else. So they add up sugar. They also figured out that sugar is addictive. Do you know that sugar is as addictive as cocaine?
Yes, I know.
Okay,
I know.
So they add up sugar into food. So now they add up sugar not only to add sweetening or flavor to the food. They add sugar to add bulkiness to the food. They add sugar to add color to the food. They add sugar to have a flavor to the food. They add sugar also for preservative. Now, the key is that they use sugar and they gave sugar 75 different names. Sugar has 75 different names, okay? So it's hidden in your food and you're thinking, maybe you're thinking, okay, I'm gonna have some Doritos. Doritos is a salty snack. I'm not having no sugar. Are you aware that Doritos have 3 different snacks? Plus, it's a tortilla made out of corn that probably the corn is GMO. Not to mention that the corn is a carbohydrate that your body's going to turn it into sugar.
Yeah, that's correct.
The other day,
Yes.
I make an assignment in my group, in my Facebook group, for everybody to look at something in the cabinet and show me how many sugar do they have. This lady came in with a honey bunches of oat cereal.
Yes.
Honey bunches of oat. It has 7 types of sugar.
Yeah.
7 types of sugars. When you look at the ingredients in every food and every packaged food that you buy, when you look at the ingredient, you look at the label is going to tell you how much sugar it has. It's going to say total sugars and added sugars. Okay, you want something that doesn't have any added sugars. Okay, if they're going to have sugar, let it be the natural sugar that the fruit brings, not the added sugar.
Yeah.
Okay? And then when you look at the ingredient list, the ingredient lists are in the order of amount. Whatever is the first ingredient is the most that it have. Whatever is the last ingredient, that's the least that it have. So if you're buying something that's supposed to be garlic rice, for example, you want garlic rice to be in the first 3 words. If garlic and rice are not in the first 3 words, you have a whole bunch of other stuff with a little bit of rice and garlic.
You're right. You're right.
So that's one thing that you have to do when it comes to the sugar. The sugar, when you have that great amount of sugar that the body is not able to take, this is what happens. Your cells have little garages. For sake of conversation, let's say it's garages that the cells has. You eat some sugar, and your pancreas will secrete the insulin, because the insulin is like a little truck that's going to grab the sugar from your bloodstream and going to march into the cell, hit the key in the garage door, and then dump the sugar. But if the cell says, I don't need any more sugar because you're not exercising, So then you are not going to make any sugar. So what that insulin going to do? It's going to convert all that sugar into fat. So there's two functions for insulin. First function is to get the sugar inside the cell. The second function, you don't want the sugar, I convert it into fat. That's your fat hormone. Okay, that's what the one that's going to make you fat. Another thing that happens when that you're not able to dump the sugar in the cell is if you have a lot of oxidative stress, a lot of free radicals, because you're putting too much chemicals in your house and all the food that you're eating have too much chemical, okay, and you're absorbing all that chemical and creating all that free radical. The free radical is damaging the cells. Now the integrity of the cell is broken. So now it's like the garage door is jammed and the sugar is trying to go in and it can't because it's jammed.
Mm-hmm.
Okay? So that's another way to get insulin resistant, another way how sugar is negative. Not only that, sugar make your body acidic, okay? Meaning that it's creating an environment for cancer to grow. I'm not saying that sugar causes cancer, but what happens is that our normal cells, they feed out of fat, okay? Out of carbohydrate and out of protein. But cancer cells feed more out of carbohydrates. So if you have a cancer cell in your body, because we all do at any moment, but our immune system will clear up. But if you continue to drink, eating that much sugar, you might not let the immune system do the job. It's going to convert those cells into cancer cells because they're going to have everything that they need to feed themselves and grow as cancer cells. Okay, so that's why we need to eliminate and reduce our sugar consumption as much as we can. Then the letter A is for artificial colors, artificial flavor, and artificial sugar. When you read the word artificial, automatically come to your brain, artificial means a concoction of chemicals, synthetic, something that your body doesn't make, need, or want. Okay, so you don't want to, the colors, for example, induce problems in kids that have autism, and also things that have artificial color cause ADHD, that means hyperactivity.
Yeah.
Okay, the artificial sugars, they cause cancers, they are carcinogenic, and they also are hormones disruptor, so you don't want to have that. And then artificial flavor or fragrances is what I told you before, a permission for the company to put whatever they want and you have no idea what it is. So again, you don't want that in your body.
I do have a saying. Sorry.
Yes, ma'am.
I do have a saying that goes that says that whatever that you cannot, which I, by the way, I put it on my book, whatever that you cannot put in your mouth, I mean, in your skin, don't put it in your mouth. So if you can read something that you cannot even pronounce, you don't know it, it's not natural, don't put it in your skin, don't put it in your mouth.
I agree with her. You should follow that. I agree with it. And then the last letter is letter P for process. Processed food. What are processed food? Everything that comes in a package. If the food came in a package, it's processed. What happens when the food is processed? The process, they take a lot of the nutrition out of it when they're processing the food. And remember, that food goes from the farm, okay, to the company. The company have to make it. They put it in the warehouse. From the warehouse, go from the truck. From the truck, go to the grocery store warehouse. From the grocery store's warehouse, go into the grocery store. From the grocery store, go into the refrigerator. Who knows when you're going to cook it? So remember, we are alive. We are a live being. Why are we putting dead things into our body?
Yes.
We are living things. Why are you putting dead things in your body? Processed food are dead things. They're no longer, not to mention that because nowadays, because of the depletion on the way that farming it is, okay, and the depletion of nutrition in our land, even the broccoli that you used to eat 100 years ago, you buy it now, doesn't have the same amount of nutrition, and then you're going to strip it by the process?
Yeah.
No, I'm sorry. You need to try to buy, things from the produce outside the peripheral of the grocery store, and don't go through the aisle.
Yeah.
Even the EWG website, ewg.org, they're going to give you a list of the 12 dirty 12s. That means that those are vegetables that are processed, not processed, they have a lot of pesticides and things like that. And they let you know the ones that you, at least if you don't have any money, but those buy organic and everything else conventional. But
okay,
they give you a list.
May I ask you something? Okay, I'm going to give you a scenario and I want you to give me some tips. Let's imagine that I have no other means but to go to the grocery store because I don't have access to a a local tiny grocery store. So I need to go to the big supermarkets. Is there any tips that you can give us in order for us to know how to prepare our living foods, because we know that our living foods have been they have been they have been used with pesticides, chemicals, and so forth. So, do you have any tips whatsoever that we can use in order for us to prepare, let's say, our fruits and vegetables, for instance?
Okay, but when you buy your fruits and vegetables, it doesn't matter if they're organic or not, because even if they're organic, everybody in the store have touched them to check if they're ripe or good or whatever. As soon as you come home, okay, you don't just go from the bag and put them in the refrigerator. No, you soak your vegetables in a solution of water and baking soda, or water and white vinegar, and you soak it for 15 minutes, and then you let them dry very well. And once they're dry, then you put them away the way that you're supposed to be putting them away. Clean them before you put them in the refrigerator, because if you don't do that, you know that they put wax. For example, apples, pears, what other fruits like that, like prunes, not prunes, plums, for example. They add a something that make them shiny, like wax.
Yes, to make it shiny, yeah.
Yeah, make it look like they're brand new, like they just pick them out of the tree, but they're not. So you want to make sure you remove all those chemicals, but they put a lot of pesticides. You want to clear up all that. So you want to buy the key will be for you to be able to go to the market farmer. Every town in the United States have a markets farmer. Usually it's once a week. You just need to know the time and the hour, and then you'll be able to buy directly from the farmer. And even them, when you go home, you still wash it, because whoever pick up on the tree, you don't know, they wash their hands, before they were touching everything in the vegetables and stuff like that. So you want to make sure that you wash them. Another thing is that if you want to make sure that you have healthy food in the refrigerator to eat, you need to cook. And there's a lot of people that don't like to cook, Miss Victoria. There's a lot of people, but do like I do. This is what I do. On Sundays, I pick a day of the week, and that is Sunday. Sundays, I go to church. I praise the Lord. We go to brunch. I go to the grocery store, okay, and the farmer's market, and then I come home. When I come home, right there, I watch everything, I divide everything, and I cook for the week. And I even create the packages for my, snacks and everything. Everything's in the refrigerator there. So when I open the refrigerator during the week, I'm healthy, that I can, okay? So I do that. I make sure that I prep. A lot of people don't like to cook food that ahead of time. They like to cook it fresh. But you can make your time easier, that the day that you do groceries, you cut everything off, season everything that you want to season, marinate your meats that you want to marinate, cut it all. So with the day that you have to cook, all you have to do is put everything together in the pot and cook it, instead of having, because most of the time what it takes you a long time is all the prep,
Yes.
cooking all the seasoning and stuff like that. And then for the people that doesn't like to eat healthy, we as especially the
Yeah.
especially on spices.
Miss Aida, may I stop you there? We had kind of like a break. I'm not sure whether it was you or me or the internet connection. Could you please go back and repeat what you just said? Because I think that there was we did not hear you properly here. So if you don't mind going backwards a little bit and start from where you left off, I think it's after you said that for people that doesn't like to cook, if you can take it from there, please. Okay. It's just that the internet was misbehaving.
Okay, yes. That's technology for us. We are live. Okay, technology. What I'm saying is that people that doesn't like to cook, I can give you some tips on how to, so you don't be cooking every single day. So usually what I do is that every Sunday I go to church. After church, we go to brunch. And then after brunch, we go grocery shopping, and I go to the marketplace, get my vegetables and stuff like that. And then when I come home, I do all the cooking for the week. I purchased a vacuum sealer, so I can put things in portion, and a vacuum sealer so you can freeze it, and some things last me up to 3 months if I put it there. So sometimes I got left for that week, but I still have it there. The day that I really couldn't do anything, I still have good nutritious food in the refrigerator. Now, I know there's people like my father, for example. My father don't eat leftover or anything that was cooked the first day. My father used to be the type that like, fresh food cooked that same day. But make your life easy, ladies. What you can do is the day that you do groceries, you already cut all your vegetables in the portions that you want to, cut. If you have to peel the potatoes, you already got to peel. Marinate the meat if you needed to marinate it. Everything's already set up and in portions and everything. So the day that you got to cook, you just have to grab things out of the refrigerator and the pantry and cook it instead of having to do all the prep. Because usually what takes you so long is all the prep that you have to do for the food. So that will be a way to make sure that you have healthy foods in the refrigerator so you can grab, because giving your body and your cells the nutrition that they need in order to work right is essential, because all these vitamins, all these phytonutrients, the body needed for every chemical processes that happen inside the cell. Okay, you need to give it. It's like your car. You don't go and take and put water with sugar to your car because you know that the car runs with gasoline. So why is it that we put water and sugar into our bodies? Some people say, I don't know why I gained so much weight because I don't eat too much. What happens is that they drink their calories, because all these sugary drinks that they say 10% juice and the rest is sugar.
Yes. Sugar free.
Yep.
0% sugar free. Yes.
No, and sugar free is the worst, because sugar free, they're going to put a chemical sugar. They're going to put a chemical sugar they're going to trick your body on thinking that they're getting the sugar they need, but the body's not getting. So you finish drinking it and then your body get hungrier because the body's saying, but I didn't get the sugar, I thought I did, and then you're eating more and more and more. So no diet anything, people. No diet. Just eat real food. You are a live being, you want to eat live food, okay, that have all the nutrients and phytonutrients that you need. And if we go to nutrition deeper, that will take us longer, but that's like the basics that you can implement right now. And then the G is for goals. Remember when we talk about vision, that we said that the vision is what you want it to be, and pretend that the vision is that you're in a car and you put in your address where you're going to be in your GPS. So that's your vision. That address is your vision. The goals is what's going to take you from point A to point B. It's what I'm going to tell you, take a left, take a right. The good thing about setting goals is that when life threw you a curveball, things happen in life, like last year happens. But you already had goals set up in your life, you can reroute and go back. So that's why it's so important to set up goals. And then we have the H of health prevention. The H for health prevention, that's in the word health, everlasting health prevention. That means that you make sure that you get all the preventive care that you're supposed to need, because how are you going to become the CEO of your health if you don't know in what state is your body right now? So that means that you got to go to the doctor and make sure that you get your blood work every year, where they check your cholesterol, they check your triglyceride, your sugar levels, the function of your kidneys, the function of your liver, okay, your vitamin E, vitamin C, all those things you want it to be checked every year. If you're a woman, you want to make sure that you get your mammogram. If you're over 40, you want to get a mammogram every other year. If you're over 50, you need to get a mammogram every year. Okay, if you're a man, you want to get your prostate exam every year. And you lucky guys that doesn't want to get the prostate exam, you're lucky. All you need to do now for the prostate is a blood test. Only when the prostate test in the blood come positive, then you have to go to the urology and they have to do something else. But we ladies, we need to go and do the pap, and it's not comfortable, but it needs to be done. Okay, especially if you're already sexually active, you need to have your pap every year. And make sure also that you know your history, that you have your list of your medications and supplement that you're taking, and then that you're taking measures to prevent all those diseases that that is happening in your family, and taking care of everything that is happening to you. If you already suffer of a chronic disease, make sure that you always, like we talked in last session, about keeping that form, that folder that you're going to have, your logs for your blood pressure, for your sugar, or whatever is the disease. If it is something that causes pain, then your pain log and your history and all your results, so you can take it to the doctor. And this is how you become, okay, the CEO of your health, by doing an everlasting health routine. That's my protocol for you, to help you to be healthy and strong and be able to fulfill God-given purpose in your life.
Wow. Once again, you have given us so much information in such very little time. Thank you, thank you. Well, I cannot recap absolutely everything that you have said because you have said a lot. But one thing that really it really caught my attention was how you define CEO in your term. So I'm just going to repeat that. CEO, the anagram CEO, C stands for make choices, because you are the one that can only make choices because God has given us the free will. So it's up to us to make the choices that are going to benefit our body or is going to bring our bodies into detrimental. E for CEO, E. Educate yourself. It is down to you to educate yourself. Don't rely on anybody else. You need to, yes, like you said on last session, doctors are good. Doctors educated themselves so that they can be of service to us. However, doctors do make mistakes. So you still need to educate yourself to know exactly who is you, who is your body, whether you have any hereditary diseases like you mentioned. So it is very important, educate yourself. And then O on CEO, it stands for organized. You need to really be organized, not just time management, but also organize everything like your income, your nutrition, even your goals. So you need to organize. You need to be an orderly person. And remember that by doing so, you are reflecting the nature of our King, because we serve a God of order. And this is what I have briefly picked up. I know that there's more, but like I said, for the sake of time and because you share a lot of information with us, I'm not going to go over it. What I will do is that once we have finished with this live broadcast, I will try to put down on the narrative of this video some of the tips that you have given us, so that they are recorded there. Wow. Okay. So now, beautiful Queen Aida, is there anything else that you would like to share with us before we wrap up?
I just want to make sure that people that are watching us understand the importance of their health. Okay, don't neglect it. Don't wait until something really bad is happening to you in order for you to take an active role in your health. Do it now. Prevent. You know, it's better. There's a saying that said it's better an ounce of prevention than a pound of cure. You know, you want to make sure that you prevent now before you get worse. You know, and because you want to be used by God, you need to be healthy and you need to be strong. So make sure that you take this into account. If you need to watch this 2 to 3 times, take notes in order for you, because the things that I gave and the tips are things that you can implement right now. And most of them, you don't need any money. You're already using the things that you probably have at home. You know, most of the things that I suggested in the list that you can implement right now quickly, you know, and change your life little by little. Now, you don't have to do everything all at once, but as long as you do a small increments constantly, you're going to get to the goal. You know, work, or like I do what I call a cycle of life. And I put those 12 things in a round, and people tell me exactly where they are in each area. So we work harder in the areas that are lower. The lower to the middle, I know those are the weaker areas. The more that the circle looks more like a circle, then I know those are the areas that they don't need that much help. So you can do that and examine those letters, like when you hear me saying what they belong to, and check, okay, I know that I have a vision in my life. I don't have to worry about that, but man, I'm not exercising. Maybe I have to do something better for that. So you can see what the areas you are that you're weaker and start working on those, and then optimize everything else once those are in level.
Beautiful tips. Excellent tips. Now, do you have any social media that people can contact you, or any website, anything at all?
Yes, if you can go to my website, is www.rx4everhealth.com. And right now I have a master class that is going to talk about the root cause of disease, which is called Discovering and Addressing the Root Cause of Disease. That's going to come on May 26th. 8 o'clock is going to be via Zoom. And it's just $15 American.
Excellent. Excellent. So, well, like I said, you have said a lot of, you have given us lots of information in very little time. And just to wrap up, the most important thing, the key here is that as a believer, you know that your body is the temple of the Holy Spirit, and as such, you need to look after it not just spiritually, but also physically. And the second thing, it is that a great man of God said that without a body, God cannot function on earth. So you need to make sure that your body is healthy, so that through your body, God can do business here on earth, because we need to continue to expand his kingdom. And
Yes.
you cannot do that if you are poorly. If you are poorly or if you are bedridden, you cannot do that. And thank you very much, Miss Aida, for the information that you have given us, which is very valuable. And I pray that this information to all of our viewers it has been of great help. Like we said at MBN, please be a media evangelist and share this broadcast. Share it, because you don't know, it might be touch someone else's life today. With this having said and done, I thank you once again for having taken the time to be with us. And until the next time, I'll see you at the top where the eagles are. Receive our royal salute. Bye-bye. Bye.